This is going to be fun. I'm super excited. Hey everyone, I'm Alexis the Ego Queen. Love me, and I do. I can't do a hair flip, a proper hair flip with headphones on. You guys know this. Anyway. Tomorrow's announcement got a little bit leaked. So, Titanicus, back with terrain and everything. And up top, we can see the Titans themselves. So, let's go ahead and take a closer look at this picture. We're just going to cheat and use the zoom in function. Let's see everything that we got. Definitely got the Warlord right here. Right in the middle. We got a Reaver right next to it on the, well, the left side. And on the right side, it looks like another Warlord, maybe even something bigger than a Warlord, like the Warmonger. I think the Warmonger is bigger. I always get those two confused. We got new stuff for Necromunda. We got a whole bunch of new stuff. And look at this terrain down here. We have cities. Something that I have been wanting to fight in for a very long time. Something that I've really wanted to do is to fight the gigantic battles that don't involve Space Marines. Because, well, once you start scaling up this far, 40k becomes less about infantry and more about the Titan fights. And this is 40k. This is what I like. Battle robots. I can't wait for this. So, a lot of people don't know what Titanicus is. Titanicus is a game that started around 1988 and lasted all the way until I think the early 2000s was the last time it was really played, similar to that of Necromunda and the other smaller games along that time, like More Time and things of that nature. They were the kind of offshoot games that Games Workshop tried, and they kind of all failed. I'm not gonna lie, they kind of did after a little bit fail. But that was older GW. This is much newer GW who knows how to resupply their games. Like Necromunda, for instance, they have been giving it proper support. Granted, it still has not caught my interest just yet. So I'm a little hesitant on Necromunda, but Titanicus definitely has my interest because I love giant robots. Because chicks dig giant robots. Like, that's just there. I am super hyped for this. So this is the leaked image. And if we zoom out, we get the actual image. Let's get the actual image. This is from a guy who kind of snuck into the room and took the picture and everything. So we really have to take it with a grain of salt and everything. On the table, we can actually see terrain itself, which my face is conveniently covering. So I'm going to go like this, and you still can't see it because my face is covering it. Get out of the way, me. Whee! Right over here, on this table set up here, we can actually see some of the terrain for this game itself. We can see the terrain in the display case right next to it. So that's kind of cool. Wah! There we go. Now, it looks like we got a few books. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 books. This kind of looks like an audio book over on the right side. Although there is a smaller Titan that's a different class Titan than the Reaver standing next to it. So I'm interested to see that. And it looks like we even got the Knights standing next to him, which come up to the knee of the Warlord that's in the middle. So that's kind of cool. We might actually see some Wardens, some of the other cooler Knights that we don't really get to see in the table, well, on the tabletop just yet. So let's do a little bit of a background to figure out what Titanicus is and was. So I grabbed up a few models and everything from the older stuff, and I want to show you. So Titanicus. Titanicus was extremely silly and extremely colorful. And you got to remember, this comes from the 80s. 40k was not taking itself seriously at all, and they were still blatantly stealing things off of other games like BattleTech and other sources. But we also get to see some of the older class Imperial, the Warlord Titans, which ironically, the Warlord Titans are the most common of Titans, because, you know, that makes sense, right? But you do get to see these giant, ridiculous flags that hang off of them, giant, long, very phallic cannons and everything like that. They were all very static posed and no real actual posability. They were also dirt cheap, so that's something to keep in mind. This game was really cheap back in the day. It is not going to be as cheap in the future. Well, tomorrow. So here's an example of some of the Titans from the older series. As you can see, they were still the dog-faced Titans of old. So they weren't very modular. There wasn't really too much special about them. They were just kind of static posed, and they were like this big. They were very small. The new Titans, I want to say, the new Warlord looks about the size of, oh, what is the newest guy called? Well, let's just say, looks about the size of a Dread Knight, for instance. Okay. So we do have a little bit of other stuff being spoiled. I was trying to push that over. Let's go here. Are these two? Nope. Here we go. So the next things that we have is the weaponry and everything of old. Some of the whips the Titans carried, maces that the Titans carried, which are all very, very, very silly in nature. Like, could you imagine something like this trying to swing a mace? It would topple itself over in a second. Oh, but Alexis, insert bullshit sci-fi reason here. Well, yeah, you raise a good point right there, and yeah, you got me. Anyway, we do get to see some of the weirder stuff that Chaos and Space Marines, well, Chaos and Imperial had to offer, like giant bells, huge banners, a ton of different head options, different style of weaponry, like carapace Gatling guns and the Deathstroke missile, the Deathstroke cannon. The Battle Claw, like really, this thing has a lobster claw, power saw. These things were very ridiculous, so we gotta remember that this was a time when GW didn't take itself seriously. So we're gonna see a more gritty version of this. Think about it like old GW was like Adam West Batman. New GW is kind of Christian Bale Batman. Everything's dark and gritty and you can't really understand the fighting too well. And then Bane appears. But it's okay because the second movie was actually good. We are going to see things like this. It might not be just Imperium. We might see things like orks, eldar, well, the Eldari, Dukari, maybe showing up with a Titan for once. I'm sure that they could just use the Eldar Titans and you give them a gothic paint style. Like, you just mix a dark and like a little bit of... You make them look like a scene kid and they'll be fine. So we are going to see, hopefully, a bunch of new stuff for this system. I'm hoping for orks. I'm hoping for... honestly, I'm going to be playing Imperium. That's just me. I am a loyalist at heart. I am loyalist on the streets, Slaneshi in the sheets. I have my morals. So, the other things that Epic did come with was actual armies themselves. So you did have a lot of your battalions and everything like that, but they were... think of Ripper Swarms. Those would be about the size of Terminators. It was very silly. So let's keep going through and taking a look at some of the other stuff. Not all of them were metal, by the way. This is a cool little side note. It shows an Imperial Battle Titan. This is a Warlord class Battle Titan. At least I think so. Yes, it is. This is back before they kind of changed all of the names and everything. So this is the new Titanicus, not the new Epic. Epic was a different style of game. Titanicus took that over, and now Titanicus is getting remade, probably with all of the other rules and everything. So let's keep moving on. I think I'm gonna try to save those for just a little bit later. Then we have the Eldar Titans. The Eldar Titans look like something out of Power Rangers. I personally hate all of the Eldar Titans. I think they look absolutely silly and stupid, but at the same time, it is totally a nod at the 80s. Like, this was 80s. Like, it just screams 80s, and I love it for that. But I don't know how they're going to do this and make it good. I really do wish that they would redo all of the Eldar Titans in the tabletop as well as the older editions. So, moving on, I think this is just all the newer stuff. Okay, so let's go back to the Titanicus stuff and actually really talk about it. What can we expect from Titanicus in general? Well, first off, the prices are going to be pretty average for GW prices. So we're going to be seeing things like the Warlord in the middle being about $75, the Reavers being about $50. This is my assumption. I don't have anything to base this really off of, except for the buying patterns of Games Workshop. A terrain itself is probably going to be grossly overpriced because Games Workshop seems to really like to overcharge for their terrain, even though laser cut terrain is starting to become the new hotness, and everybody is kind of switching from GW terrain to laser cut terrain, mostly because it's like 1/10 the price, and you can order it and cover an entire table for less than like $500. Where if you did that with a GW table, it would cost you like $1,000, your firstborn, and you have to swear loyalty to a Chaos God or 4. But, yeah, Titanicus. I'm hoping this game is way more supported than Necromunda, for instance. Necromunda is very supported, and I really, really, really like Necromunda, but I still haven't gotten into it yet. And there's also going to be another announcement later about AOS, and personally I think AOS is going to go out the window. I'm not really investing in AOS too much. I don't think AOS is worth it. I think it's kind of hot garbage. Anyway, I think AOS is kind of hot garbage, and I'm not really interested in it. You guys did not see that, by the way. Shush your faces if you did. It's totally not what it looks like. Anywho. I'm really excited about this game. We also did get a bunch of new stuff spoiled from the Warhammer community, including, and I do apologize that all of these are zoomed in, the new Rogue Trader fleet, which everybody is saying that this is the Rogue Trader stuff, and I kind of believe them. I'm not gonna lie, the Nurgle stuff looks a little bit, I have no idea what I'm looking at right now. This guy has a fish on him. This is stupid. Alright, you know what? I don't even want to bother looking at that thing. And this thing looks straight out of Cartoon Network. I'm sorry. It's just, it does. Good effort. I don't like him. Think he looks silly? I think it looks silly. I mean, hands-on, pretty silly. Because he has a hand hanging from a cleaver. This is just cute artwork. I was going to save it and use it as a picture. Then we actually see them in action, and we have the goodest boy in the entire galaxy. I am so happy that there's a poopers in this picture. Like, I need to zoom in, and I don't care about anything else in this picture, because personally I think they all look really silly. Like, I think the Nurgle stuff looks absolutely atrocious in my opinion, strictly in my opinion. I'm not really a fan of Nurgle, but I see this. I like this. A Cyber Mastiff. Oh, also we see the Rogue Trader fleet, which is kind of cool. This might be Rogue Trader. We don't exactly know just yet. It's not confirmed, or at least if it was confirmed, I'm too stupid to actually look into it. Oh wait, has a better picture of it. We're gonna go straight up to the best boy in the entire galaxy. Look at this poopers. Look at him. Look at him. He is majestic. and I want 6 of him. In fact, I just want a ton of him. Like, I want all of my familiars to be this dog. Just saying. Look at this dog. Look at this puppers. It is so cute. Anyway. Back to the topic at hand. Titanicus. Titanicus is awesome. I am so happy that I get to play giant fighting robots. And I'm going to make at least 2 of them look like... I'm going to make 2 of them at least look like Megas XLR. I'm not going to lie about that. I've always wanted to do that. So that's a thing. That's a thing. Oh yeah, also I feel like I should talk about this guy really quickly. The heavy dreadnought for the custodians. I have a video coming out about custodians, where what I feel about them right now and how I really want to play them. But I just want to point this out. A lot of people are going crazy about the double plasma gun. That's whatever. That's garbage. It's actually really good. What I'm going to go on about is this Las Storm battery thingy. Heavy 10, he can take 2 of them. Heavy 20, strength 7, AP -1, D3 damage at 48-inch range. This dude is going to be sitting behind my battle sisters and blowing away everything. I can't wait for this. Aside from that, it's really survivable. Nido Mosquito, it's a custodian. Boop. This guy looks idiotic. Cool aspects, though. The assassin, I think, also looks really stupid. I'm sorry. It reminds me of the assassin from Hellboy. If you've ever seen the first Hellboy, there's that assassin, or Voldo from Soul Calibur. Right there. That is Voldo. Okay, and now we go back to this. So, I do have one of my good friends with me taking your questions and everything. So let's hear some of them, Corvus.
Yeah, we have one question.
Oh, we should have more than that.
Yeah, but not really questions, so, to be honest. But one was in there.
Go through and just grab as many of the funnier statements then as possible. If you guys want to ask questions during this, please just use the, please just say question and then just write the question afterwards. It makes it really easy for us to filter the comments during the live stream. Also, if you want to support the channel, you could use the super chat feature. It goes a long way for supporting the channel, keeping my lights on, keeping me fed. I have been practicing that. Oh. Anyway, question.
Okay. I saw that Marathi in the corner, Alexis. Wait, does this confirm that you're starting a Daughters of Cain army?
I'm using it for Slanesh, if that's what you want. I'm actually going to be... I have a video coming out about this Marathi. I'm probably going to be using her for Zerachniel. If you know who that is, you... Yeah. Yeah.
Also, AOS is Conversions the game, right?
AOS is going out the window. I really hope AOS goes out the window and they bring back fantasy. Just saying.
Also, Centaur Imperial Guard? Hmm?
Yeah, I saw that picture and it kind of interested me. So I was like, yo, that's pretty neat. So I grabbed it.
And Alexis, what is the most difficult about piloting Titans?
What is the most difficult part about piloting Titans? Probably dealing with that machine spirit, which probably sounds like a nagging old woman. Like, here's how I imagine being a princeps of a Titan. First off, everybody wants to be a princeps of a Titan. Let's be real here. It's like every Imperial citizen's dream is to be a princeps of a Titan. Hey, I want to join the army, but I don't want to die. So, let's pilot a Titan. So now, if any of you have ever driven in traffic or have gotten like really bad road rage, That's what I imagine driving a Titan is like. But all of the cars that are going by you are just voices in your head screaming at you, trying to tell you how to drive. And you have like a ton of voices. You have backseat drivers, you have movie theater ladies, you have everything in your head screaming at you, telling you you're doing wrong. And you're just like, oh my god, screw this, I'm gonna kill everything. That's what I imagine piloting a Titan is like, and that's gotta be the worst part. By the way, this is based on the actual lore of 40k. When you are plugged into a Titan, when you become the princeps of a Titan and first connect with it, you have to undergo a ritual to actually bond with its machine spirit. Titan machine spirits are extremely powerful, go figure, they're Titans. And they have dozens upon dozens of former princeps, people who have gone insane inside them, stuck in that machine spirit. So when you plug it into yourself, it really does hit you. And it does drive you a little bit mad and a little bit insane. But really good princeps can master this and actually fight with their Titans very efficiently. See the binary succession for somebody who can pilot a Titan through Main Street Terra, walk all the way to the Imperial Palace without killing a single person. That skill. And the war horns. Like, the best part would be blaring those war horns. I am sorry, but there is just a certain part of me that just goes, yay! Every time I hear a giant war horn of a Titan in a book. It is my favorite thing. The best Titan fight I have ever read comes from Aaron Densky Bowden's Master of Mankind, when the one Titan has to take on two Titans, and it's massively damaged, and it takes down the one and then finally dies, and it is just the most epic thing in the world because it's blaring for help. It's like, guys, I need you to come. Don't come. I got this. And it is, it is, ADB, you keep doing you. You are amazing, and I love you. Titans are awesome.
Okay, next question. What would you be if you became a space marine with all required gear? For example, armor, bolter, power sword.
Oh, if I could have war gear of a space marine, first off, I wouldn't be a space marine. Mostly because it would start too much controversy with neckbeards who have never gotten laid in their entire lives, and they would have to post on forums about how pissed off they are about women's in 40k. But if I were to don power armor, I would be an Inquisitor. Okay, first off, Space Marines are cool and everything. I want to be above them. I want to be the one telling them what to do. Just like, yeah, you take all your little boys that you love to, you know, rub oil on and everything, Fulgrim looking at you, and you go play over here. I'm going to be the one in charge. I am a Space Marine chapter master. That's cute, dear. I want you to go attack this planet, and then this planet, and then that one. By order of the Inquisition. Oh. No, but my war gear would be probably Cataphractii Terminator armor, if I couldn't get that, which, if you're going to start the bitching about Terminator armor being strictly for Space Marines, you're wrong. But I'm not going to go into that, but I would take power armor, artificer armor, probably a storm shield, power sword, because I really like power swords. On my sidearm would be an inferno pistol, and I'd have a hallucinogenic psychotrope grenades, a melt-a-bomb. I'd be a psyker, obviously, practicing demonology. And in fact, you could actually all see this if you watch Queen's Court, which you totally should, because it's not very popular on my channel, but I still love it, damn it. But yeah, it would be Storm Shield, Power Sword, bombs, and hallucinogens, and psychic powers. Oh, and a Armorium Cherub, and, well, yeah. I could keep going into that, and if you really want to know more about how I would outfit myself in 40k, please watch Queen's Court. It's an awesome series. You'll actually love it.
Okay, another question. What is the only thing that you wish that you had control over in a new model line?
if I had control over in the new model line, I would probably go back to the early 90s when they made the metal demonette models, remake those, make them slightly taller, and give like, at least have 10 of those in a demonette squad. Well, let's just say 5 of those type and 5 of the new type, and make them look actually really good for demonettes. If not, I would make a Slaanesh demon prince that actually has tits. I know GW is kind of like, everybody thinks GW is kind of like, no, we're not doing this, but they often put boob demons in their books and everything, and they breastplate like crazy, so they're not catering to feminists. I want them to cater to Slaanesh fans. Sorry that I keep itching my eyebrow, everybody. I got my eyebrows done a couple of days ago, and it's killing me right now. A couple of days, got it done yesterday.
Okay, Custodes above Inquisitors. What's your opinion?
Custodians are not above Inquisitors. Inquisitors have the right granted to them by the Emperor. It's just Custodians are the only ones that say no. But they are not in charge of Inquisitors. If an Inquisitor actually demanded a Custodian to go and do something, and that Custodian was off Terra, well, the Custodian would probably just tell him to go fuck himself, but... Oop. I was trying so hard not to swear. But the Custodian would probably just tell him no. But they do have to actually listen to the Inquisitors. They are above them because they're Inquisitors. That's kind of their thing. Yeah.
Okay, next question. Have you decided whether or not you are getting rid of your Custodians? Also, how goes the Slaanesh army?
Okay, so I'm making a video about them that should be up on Monday. And here's the short answer. No, I'm not getting rid of my Custodians. I like them, but I hate them. But I like them, but I really hate them. I have like this really crazy love-hate relationship going on with them. Kind of like how Karn does with Nurgle. No, not Karn and Nurgle, Karn and Slaanesh. They just have this like really, really interesting relationship. Because they often work together, yet they hate each other. It's interesting. I like it. But yeah. Yeah. Video on Monday about that.
Alexis, can you agree that they need to make new NITS models?
No. The new NID models kind of look terrible. I'm not gonna lie. We have the testicle, we have the hentai monster, and we have the brain bug. They tried, they look bad. Alright? The Paravor looks like a giant beetle with a on his back, and the new Tyranids just look awful. I get that they need to make their own designs because they stole the whole idea from Alien. That's cool, you know, whatever. I like my Alien Queen Tyranid. I think it's cute. I have a few of them now. I have 5 Hive Tyrants, 7 Hive Tyrants. But at the same time, I'm sitting here like, their new models are pretty much terrible. The Hive Tyrants are cool. The Hive Tyrants, the plastic Hive Tyrants, the newest kit is awesome. I'll give them that.
Okay, Alexis, what is your favorite tank design in 40k?
Spartan Land Raider. Hands down, I love the Spartan. It has always been one of my favorites. It is such a cool tank, and it just... I have mine. It's painted. It's... Can't really describe it past that. It looks like a Spartan. I got nothing. It's a really cool tank. My second favorite is the Sakaran battle tank. I really like the original Sakaran over its better alternatives, but the original Sakaran is a really cool tank. And my third favorite tank would have to be the Land Raider. I really like big tanks, and I cannot lie. These Battle Brothers, they can't deny. And when I walk in with my ADB waist and my round thing in their face, well, nothing happens to them because they're Space Marines. Huh. Somebody said women should not be in the military. Guarantee you, that guy is too fat and stupid to be in the military. Sorry. Shouldn't feed the trolls, but, you know, that guy. Sorry. Oh, thank you for the donation, by the way. Do you want to read that?
Yeah, I can do that. Been watching Queen's Court. The transformation from cowardly princess to competent lethal queen has been great, but I would confess, the Viggy voice definitely helps. That man could read the phone book.
Oh, yes, he can. He has an amazing voice, and I love Viggy. Like, quite literally, because he's my boyfriend, but details. Anyway, thank you for the donation. It really helps.
So, another question from Geeko. If orcs use the warp to travel back in time and loot a super titan the Imperium made, does that mean we dig giant robots?
Oh my god, yes. Yes, it does. So if you guys don't know what the giant robot joke is, you have no culture and you've had no childhood, and I feel so bad for you. Because you did not experience the majesty, I can't even, there is no English word to describe how amazing this show was. It was called Megas XLR, and you need to watch every single bit of it, marathon it in a row. It is the best show ever written, hands down. Makes Batman the Animated Series look like Power Rangers by comparison. It's a great show.
As a joke, would you want a book of grim dark food from 40k?
Oh my god, yes. That would be kind of cool. I mean, I wanted to bring up this idea when I actually moved down to Arizona. I want to do a Life of a Wargamer series. I'm stealing this from Mini Wargaming, who had it stolen by Miranda, so I'm commandeering it off of Miranda. It's kind of like just one big theft. It's like we're all orcs and there's a nice shiny weapon in front of us. Like, Mini Wargaming is the one that made it. They're like, yeah, look at how cool this is. Miranda steals it, she paints it blue, and she's just like, yeah, this is mine. The paint's still wet on that. Yeah, this is mine now. And then I steal it and paint it red, and I'm just like, mine swings faster. I have no idea where I was going with that, by the way.
So, what design do you think will change if 40k becomes more popular?
What design do I think will change if 40k became more popular? Now, the obvious answer that everybody wants to hear is they'll make Slaanesh less sexy. Personally, I don't think that. If you've been reading the lore for a very long time, you know that 40k started out as a brutal dictatorship, similar to that of, well, Nazis. There's no other way of saying it. Like, there's too much iconography similar to that of fascism. And I hate saying it like this because I sound like an SJW, and I'm not. I swear to you, I'm not. But they have been slowly changing away from that, and I think that's for the better. The Age of Gilliman has really shined and showed that, yes, it is a dictatorship, but at the same time, it's actually like kind of hopeful, I guess. And at the same time, I really want Fulgrim to come back and just murder, really just absolutely dominate Gilliman and just kill him and just watch all of that go away. Holy cow, guys. Thank you for the donations. This means so much. You guys are awesome. Corvus, let's get on that.
I had a question. Got distracted by Viggy voice. Repentia plugged into Warhawk Titans equipped with melee weapons. Terrible idea or way to conquer the galaxy? Side note, Megas had the greatest fat neckbeard ever?
It did. Megas XLR should have been the inspiration for every neckbeard, by the way. I actually would love to see, and I would love to actually see this explored in the lore. What would happen if a sororitas was made a princeps of a titan? Would she have the military discipline and the zealot nature to actually pilot a close combat-oriented titan with flamethrowers everywhere? I think so. And to throw a Repentia in there, a Repentia who is out of her mind on drugs and chemicals flooding her system, making her impervious to actual physical harm? Hell yeah, that'd be super cool. Oh, that would be awesome. But I see a lot of people do this with, they take the Knight and they stick the Penitent engine pilot, which if you guys don't know is a heretic or a fallen sister. Or an inquisitor that they just so happen to go, you've been committed of heresy, you naughty bastard. And instead of sexual acts, we're going to trap you to this thing and go berserk with you and throw you into the fray. Don't get freaky with sisters, guys. Don't get freaky with sisters. It gets you into a world of hurt. Anyway. Where the hell is I going with this? I don't know. I'm excited about Titans. So let's just do a few more questions really quickly. There's actually another... there was another donation question as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, another donation. Hi, Ego. I heard you say before that there are a group of sisters that follow Mephiston. Which group are they from, and where can I find? Where can one find the lore?
Okay,
well,
so this comes from the Devastation of Baal, I believe. Don't quote me on this because this comes from Remlays and Remlays from 40k Theories. He was telling me about this. I still have to confirm it. I tend to believe Remlays because he's my friend. And he doesn't really lie. Like, he has no reason to. And I honestly don't think he has the ability to lie because, well, he's a tech priest. Inquisitor? Dinosaur? That's a thing. Let's go with that being a thing. Tech priest, Inquisitor, Dinosaur, Remlays. I still have to look into it, but I know I can sort of confirm it. I've read part of the Devastation of Baal. I want to get the audiobook for it. Mostly because I don't actually have time to sit down and read. I tend to drive a lot, so I do all of that then, or I listen to it while I'm at work.
So, another question. Can we all just agree that Redlings are the best thing in 40k? Grimdark Space Halflings are best.
I mean, they're almost as cool as Melta-Maidens or Nuns with Guns. I'll give you that one.
And also, why don't Battle Sisters wear helmets more often?
This I actually looked into, and I really, 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 really like the rich history of the Sororitas. Okay, so this is bits and pieces all throughout their lore. Sisters of Battle have to earn every bit of their armor. You can see this in the Dark Heresy books as the first example of this. But Sisters of Battle are not given their helmet with their armor suit. Now, in Dark Heresy, they are, but in the books, they're not. So, Sisters start out as they go into the Scala Progenium, then they come out and they're initiates for the Sisters of Battle. They're not giving power armor yet. They are instead put onto a crusade fleet and they fight for a few years, and then they finally, once they're ready and once they've done a few things, they're given power armor. The power armor itself, and this is strictly for Order of our Martyred Lady, by the way. The power armor is granted to them. It gives them incredible abilities. Like, if you ever want to read lore about some cool lore about Warhammer 40k, I heavily suggest looking into Sororitas power armor because it's amazing. Anywho, once the Sororitas has her armor, she's given her bolter, her bolt pistol, frag and crack grenades, and she's put into more training. 18 hour, I think it's 16 hours of actual training, which most of that is combat, and the other is, I keep wanting to say half, but it's not half. The other part of it is sacred ceremonies and churches and readings and being, well, a nun. And then some sleep. I think they only do 3 hours of sleep a night. Something like that. Space Marines don't sleep for days. Their armor never needs to be powered. It has an internal power cell that actually keeps the armor going eternally, which is cool. Then, after a few more years of service or a few more grants from the Sororitas themselves, the Order of Our Martyred Lady Sisters are allowed to dye their hair white. Now, this actually shows you that they don't all dye their hair white, so you can actually see red-headed Sisters of Battle, like myself, Or you can see black-haired Sisters of Battle, and this appears quite often. After a few more years, they're granted their helmet. And they are usually put into the Celestian Squad, the Seraphim Squad, or the Retributors. Once they've acquired their helmet, they're given sacred inscriptions throughout their service. They're given divinations. They're given this, that, and the other thing. They're made a Sister Superior, given an ability to put decorations on their helmet, holy icons, things like that. Then from there, they become a Canoness. It's an initiate step to being a Canoness. It's below a Canoness. Then they go up to being a Canoness. Then they go up to being a High Canoness. High Canonesses are in charge of the entire order. Kind of like Space Marine Captains. Yeah, that's your Sister of Battle lore in a Titanicus video. Yeah. I'm just excited about Titans. So, let's get a few more questions in here.
We are entering Kinky Zone. Genuinely curious, who would a sister sleep with, and what would the result of that be?
Sisters of Battle actually can retire from service. And when they do retire from service, this is the same with Sisters of Silence. They can actually have families and be a normal member of society. Though usually they're granted immense wealth and everything like that because they're the militant order of their Hereticus. They are usually they're usually servants of the church or higher ups, and they can actually just have a relation. Like, it's kind of beautiful. Like, being a Sister of Battle must suck. Let's not try to beat around the bush here. You're an orphan. You're kidnapped. You're put into a school where they beat you half to death. Then afterwards, they put you into a... There's a bug. Sorry, there's a bug. And it gave me a frighten. Anyway. I don't know how to recover from that because that's on a live stream. Next question.
Okay, can I just say that I honestly don't believe that plastic sisters are coming? And are you also still feeling uneasy about the possibility of GW pulling the rug out from under?
GW did actually confirm plastic sisters. They're going to be released in November, December of next year, and they're a thing. Like, they are a thing. I'm going to probably have, at that point, 7,000 points of sisters normally. And I'm probably going to drop another 2,000-3,000 points into sisters. Just to get a nice even 10,000 points of sororitas. I really like sororitas, if it's not obvious.
Okay, and what is the difference between Sisters of Battle weapons and Salamander weapons?
Okay, this is an interesting question, because Sisters of Battle use the Godwin pattern Diaz bolt pistol, bolter, and heavy flamethrower. This is not, however, the same as the multi-melta and some of the other weapons that they do. Sisters of Battle also use combi grenade launchers, which can be seen in earlier editions of the Sororitas codexes. Salamanders, on the other hand, use the Godwin Diaz pattern bolter. It is much bigger. I could actually show you if I had my cosplay with me, because my bolter is a Godwin Diaz pattern bolter, which is why it's so much longer and has the more rounding of it. The Godwin Diaz pattern bolter is designed for humans, where the Godwin, the Diaz... And the normal Godwin is designed for Astartes. The Astartes one, even though it takes the same caliber bullet, because its machine spirit is stronger, and I kid you not, this is the reason, because its machine spirit is stronger, it's stronger. It's also bigger for some reason. I guess I have to make it sized up for a Space Marine to hold comfortably. Even though a Space Marine doesn't actually feel anything when his arms are moving. He actually does it all through neuro implants that activate through... I could go into detail on how Space Marines actually function, and it is bizarre, to say the least. But if a bolt pistol is this big for a human, actually they're like this big for a human, the Space Marines one is about yay big. That would be bolter, not bolt pistol, my bad. Anywho. Next question.
Yeah. Next question. We have two similar questions. What is this Adeptus Titanicus release? Next question. When is this Adeptus Titanicus release?
What is Adeptus Titanicus? Adeptus Titanicus is Titan warfare on mass scale, similar to that of the huge battles that you hear about in the fluff, like the Fall of Cadia, where it did have... Well, did Fall of Cadia actually have Titan legions? They might have. But... like the Betrayal of Calth and things like that had Titan legions on them, where the Titans fought Titans, and this is what it's supposed to represent. Yeah, you have your smaller dude guys doing smaller dude guy things. Like, a Space Marine is only as strong as his opponent. If it's a single Space Marine versus a Titan, the Titan is just going to shoot near the Space Marine, and the Space Marine and that mountain range are going to be vaporized. And the Titan's just going to be like, whatever. When is it going to be released? We still have to wait until tomorrow to figure that one out.
Could the difference in human versus marine bolters ammo be powder load?
No, because they're literally the same ammo. Like, there is no difference. Also, a clip from a Space Marine bolter and a Sororitas bolter holds 20 rounds. A little tidbit right there. Also, they call it a clip when it's not actually a clip. It's a magazine. And it really annoys me that they call it a clip. Just saying. Just saying. But I guess we could just... It's the more common thing to say, like, put a clip in instead of load the magazine. But, yeah.
Alexis, your opinion, would the Titans be to scale with Gothic models?
Oh god, no. If the Titan is that big, which I'm going to assume that... let's just use my relic token, for instance. My relic token, which is beautiful. The Titan looks like he's about this big for the Warlord. So let's say it's about 6 inches, so... that would mean that the ship carrying it, since they carry multiples, would have to be about that big. Now that is possible, by the way. They could do that. But I heavily doubt it.
If you could change one thing in the lore, what would it be?
If I could change one thing in the lore, what would it be? I kind of really like the lore as is. I would probably answer a few of the questions. But I don't know. I really don't know. I like what the writers are doing. So I would have to... Yeah, I don't really know how I would change the lore personally for things to progress. I think the writers know what they're doing for the most part. Or expand Fall of Cadia. But that's just me.
Alexis, could I just build an Emperor-class Titan cosplay and just show up to matches? I'm pretty sure it'd be in scale.
If you actually watch my vlog about, I don't want to say Nova. It wasn't Nova. It wasn't LVO. It was the third one, which is named Adepticon. You actually get to see an Emperor-class Battle Titan on the field, and it is massive. So yes, you could.
Who would win, Aetherius Stern or Sabathiel?
Aetherius Stern. She's way stronger than Sabathiel. Sabathiel is cool and everything, but she's still sort of mortal. Because she is a mortal champion. Aetherius Stern is also mortal, but she fought off Inquisitors. Sabathiel is kind of, I don't know. We need more lore on both of those characters, so it would be cool to actually see that in the Codex. Hint, hint, nod, nod, GW. Talk about the women. Anyway, That's not me going crazy, I promise.
Alexis, clips can be used to load magazines. Hashtag proper gun terms.
Thank you. Thank you. Actually, here's a question for you. I don't want to Google this. What is that thing called that you load a revolver with? Where it loads all 6 bullets at once. What is that called? I cannot remember. I would have killed Gilliman and brought back Sanguinius. Sanguinius is more than likely going to come back. The Blood Angels are far too popular for Sanguinius not to come back. And I know Remlays and Michael, like, they always shoot down this idea. And they always get, like, really defensive about this idea. But, truth to be told, GW is just a company out for business. They're just out for money. They're a business. They want money. And they change the lore based on what they want to sell. So, things like the Primaris Marines are selling extremely well, and it's only now that they're starting to get lore. Just keep that in mind. And it's a speed loader. Thank you. Or a full moon clip. Ooh. Nice. Nice.
Alexis, has anything come from that comedic story pitched a few streams back about the guardsman who accidentally ended up in Sister's superior armor?
I gotta talk to Yeti about that, and I really hope he's watching. This tip is because she said magazine. Aw, thank you. You're awesome. Thank you so much. I feel Stern versus Celestine. I don't think either one of them will fight. I actually think Celestine, if she comes back, which she's Celestine, so once Celestine comes back and sees Ethereal Stern, all I can imagine is Ethereal Stern, like, getting really defensive, like, getting, like, her warp abilities ready and charging up her powers and everything. And Celestine just like, the Emperor told me about you. You have a great destiny ahead of you. Now go and fight all of these heretics. And if anybody stops you, I'll butcher them. Because I'm Celestine. And I am proper. Except for Karn. That guy. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to try not to swear. I'm really trying not to swear. I was a firearm instructor before I joined the infantry. You are awesome. And thank you for your service.
Alexis, still waiting on that fanfiction series with Kane and Korn.
Oh my god, if I was an artist or if I had the actual money to pay an artist to do this, I totally would. If you guys are artists and want to do this series and have it shown on my channel, please PM me on either Facebook, Twitter, or in my Discord. And if you want to join my Discord, check out my Patreon. It's in the link in the description down below. Yada yada plugs about helping me with stuff and whatever. Anywho. Marathi, go away. You're like awkwardly looking at me ever since I said AOS is garbage.
Yeah, and I think we're done now with questions.
Wait, Stern is back? No, not yet. But it would be cool if she was. Oh my god, this is awesome. Why don't they have combi grenade launchers in 40k? They actually do in the tabletop. Not in the tabletop, though. And it really bugs me that they don't. I feel like your Queen's Court character aspires to be Celestine. She is not really aware of Celestine, but yes. Kind of. Oh, we got another one.
I can read it. Alexis, what if Celestine is in fact the possessed armor of Saint Catherine, and she comes back by possessing a woman of great faith?
That's cool, except she was shot by a volcano cannon and completely vaporized. So Celestine is kind of just Celestine at this point. It's also been described that in between her deaths, she sits in the warp and slowly loses her humanity. Like, very slowly, but she's very strong-willed. What if that big robot to the far right on the top shelf is another Warlord Titan? It could be another Warlord Titan, but it looks like the Mars Alpha Titan, and the other one looks like it could be the Lucius pattern. So we might see different patterns of Titans, which would be cool.
Alexis, would you want a book discussing 40k logistics?
Yes, yes I would. Actually, I just want to collect all the codexes. I have a good chunk, and I really want all of them. I really love reading the codexes because they're not as serious as the book series, but they're just great.
And don't Primaris have the equivalent of a combi grenade launcher?
Do they?
I think yes.
Oh. Well, shit, I was wrong. Ah, damn it, I cursed. I'm trying not to. I keep forgetting about the Primaris Space Marines because I don't play them. I kind of play Hellblasters. And that's it. They're my travel army, like when I need to go somewhere like crazy. Ooh.
Who do you think will be the next army to get an update or new models?
From what I've seen, Gazgul is getting a new model, which is about time. We're going to see Orks tomorrow. We're going to see Titanicus. We're going to see Necromunda. We're going to see a lot of stuff tomorrow at Warhammer Fest. I'm expecting it to be Orks, and I know that's kind of weird, and then I'm expecting Summer of Slaanesh. So we might see that. We might see spoilers of Orks, and then it's going to be later in the year. I'm expecting Orks and Slaanesh. That's it.
What would a Slaaneshi equivalent to Celestine look like? A fallen sister strong enough to become a living saint that fell to Slaanesh and became a demon?
What would be the equivalent to Celestine? Celestine's like a greater demon, I would say. So any of the greater demons would be a good equivalent to her. Yeah, I'd say any greater demon would be an equivalent to her. I don't know the Slaanesh greater demons by name yet. Anyway.
Alexis, the reason she comes back after Volcano Cannon is because the armor is a demon of the Emperor and thus returns to the warp after the death of the physical body?
No, because she herself returns. Like, it is Celestine, and it's very clear in Fall of Cadia that it's Celestine herself that is in the warp. Not just the armor, not the possessed armor. It is Celestine, and she might actually chill in the warp near the light of the Astronomicon, which would be perfect for her because demons can't go there.
Wouldn't sisters be more likely to fall to Khorne?
There is a joke there about them having, yeah. No, they tend to fall to Slaanesh more. Slaanesh seems more interested in them, but to be honest, not enough sisters fall, so yeah. There is a decent chunk of fallen sisters, so there's a big war band of them. And the Sisters of Slaughter are a thing, I think.
Okay, I have to censor this a little bit. Why haven't you started a swear jar? You'd be able to pay for stuff and buy an entire army within 3 screens.
You know, you're not wrong, but I don't have enough money for that.
What would be the thing to have a sister willingly turn to Slaanesh?
Willingly is a very strong word in 40k. There's only ever been 2 characters willing to join Chaos of their own free will. And that was Horus Lupercal and Mariel Sabathiel. So it's really, really, really difficult. Willing is such a weird word though, but if they do anything in excess, like if they enjoy something too much, they can fall to Slaanesh.
Do you think a new Saint will come out? If so, who?
A new Saint, no. Well, you gotta remember Saint and Living Saint are two different things. Living Saints being more warp-based and magical. A new Living Saint would be really weird. But they could go and grab all of the other Saints that have existed and bring them back in the same manner that they could bring back Celestine. Like, Celestine is for the Order of Our Martyred Lady, where Saint Anaya is for the Order of the Sacred Rose, and so on and so forth. They could also have something equivalent to, what am I thinking? I'm trying to think of words that'll work right here, but my brain is not letting me communicate these words, even though I know exactly what I'm thinking. The warp is a strange place. A generic living saint. Similar to that of a captain. And you buy the war gear for them.
Why don't Sisters of Battle use artillery with WP and other incendiary loads?
They actually do! I'm not kidding about this. In the lore, Sisters of Battle do have sniper rifles that have melt-arounds in them. I thought it was the greatest thing when I first read it. I was just like, no. That's awesome. They do also use artillery with melted ammunition in it for the exorcists themselves. That's why their AP is 4 instead of 3. So there is a lot that they could do with them.
Yeah, so Sisters of Battle go from bolter bitches to naughty nuns?
No, they're melta maidens. Bolter bitches is such a dumb way of saying it. I've never liked it. Try not to read the questions with swears in them just so I can stay monetized on YouTube.
Yeah, fair.
Sorry. I know, everyone. I'm trying to stay monetized because, yeah, reasons.
Do you think there will ever be an Imperial Guard living saint?
There actually is. In fact, there's lore for him on my channel. Look up the Data Vault 13B lore series done by Viggy, and he has actually covered him. I cannot remember his name right now, but I know he exists.
Why does GW seemingly hate Imperial Guard?
I don't think they hate Imperial Guard. I mean, Cadia stands. Like, Cadia was awesome. Let's not forget that. The Guard didn't break. The planet did. Space Marines were retreating before the Guard did. Just keep that there. Just that. Cadians are awesome. I still think they should call themselves the Cadian Lastborn.
Yeah, and no questions left for now.
Okay. Well, I think I'm going to wrap up this stream. This was just supposed to be a simple, hey, look, Titanicus stuff is here. Isn't this awesome? And it kind of turned into this, which I really like because I really like Q&As and everything, and I really love doing them, and I really like being very personal with my audience and everything. I tend to answer every single question I get asked, except for some YouTube comments, because it's a YouTube comments. If you actually DM me, PM me, whatever you want to say, I tend to answer right away. If not, I answer within a day. So, yeah. I really like that kind of thing, you know. I'm a personal YouTuber. Anyway, guys, if you want to support this channel, please check out Patreon in the link in the description down below. It gives you access to my Discord, and then I move my fingers like this for some other point. Anyway, I'm Alexis the Ego Queen. I love you guys. Bye.